Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Yogah karmasu kaushalam.
Hello students, I am Dr. Rinky Menon, presently associated with Sri Narayana College of Commerce, Gujarat University. The course content. The course comprises of various concepts of business communication. The course objective. The course aims to make students understand the various concepts of business communication and utilize them in their day-to-day life. So, now let us begin with today's module. After today's lecture, you shall be able to understand 1. The different parts of a letter, 2. The types of inquiry letter, the letter formats, letters, sales letter, order letter, sales promotion letter. Lastly, we shall try to understand the different formats and characteristics of a sales format letter. We shall also dive into the difference between a sales letter and a sales promotion letter. The parts of the letter start with the first thing, that is the letter head. A company's letter head is ordinarily printed at the top of the sheet. It should contain the name, address, brief description and telephone number of the business. When a printed letterhead is not used, the address of the writer is typewritten on the right hand corner at the top of the sheet. Date. The date should be placed a few places or spaces below the letterhead, beginning halfway across the page or further to the right of the following correct styles of writing down the dates. The American style is more popular. As you can see, the American style suggests August 22, 1988, where the month, next come the date and following lastly the year. The English style suggests 22nd August 1988, whereas the Oxford University style suggests 22nd August 1988, not writing the NDs. The third part comprises of the inside address. The inside address consists of the name and address of an addressee, the one who is sending the letter. It is placed a few spaces below the date on the left hand side. The name of an individual is preceded by a title of respect. For example, Mr. XYZ, Mrs. XYZ, Dr. ABC. Thank you. Next comes the fourth part is a salutation. The salutation is a friendly greeting placed on the second line below the inside address. It is generally followed by the colon. The following salutations are generally used in business letters. For individuals, we may denote as dear sir, dear ma'am, gentleman, ladies, etc. Coming to the main or the most important part of the letter, that is the body. The body of the letter contains the message. It is generally single spaced with double spacing between the paragraphs. When the body of the letter is 2 or more pages, each page except the first one should be headed by addressee's name, page number and date as given below. Mr. Riaz Aga, 2nd October 10, 1988. Next, the complimentary clause. A complimentary clause should begin 2 spaces below the last line of the body of the letter and halfway across the page. It is always followed by a comma. The most frequently used forms of complimentary clause are very truly yours, sincerely yours, cordially or respectfully is too formal to suit a business letter. Next comes the signature. The signature consists of signature, name or the designation of the writer. The name of the company should also be written while signing on a sheet without the letterhead. Next come the initial. The initials of the typist or the secretary should appear below the signature on the left hand side of the sheet. So, we had a look at the main parts of the letter. Next, there are a few optional parts. Now, let us take a look at them too. The optional parts. In addition to the above mentioned essential parts of a business letter, the following optional parts may also be included when appropriate. Enclosure. Enclosure notation should be put directly below the initials. Enclosure 2, enclosure 4 or a blank format, mentioning the number of letters that you are attaching to it. Next, the attention line. Considered part of this inside address directing an address to a particular person or department is usually placed between the inside address and the salutation. Subject line indicating the message is usually placed below the salutation, including or omitting the word subject. Copy notations stating the names of the persons to whom this specific copy of letter is sent should be typed below the initials or the enclosures if there are any, arranged in order of importance or alphabetically. Reference numbers of the files, account or case should be typed above the body of the letter. Mailing notation. Words such as registered mail, book post, special delivery may be typed whether below the last line of the letter or above the inside address. So, I hope you are now clear with the structure of a letter. Now, let us take a look at the various formats of letter. The letter formats. The first comes is the full block form. In a full block letter, every line begins with the left margin. This is easier to type. The modified block format. A modified block form is usually frequently used in the business. All parts except the date, complementary clause and signatures sections begin from the left margin. The date, complementary clause and the signature area may start at the horizontal center of the page to the right of the center. Modified block form with paragraph indentions. It is like the modified block form except that its paragraphs are indented. The date, complementary clause and signature area begin at the horizontal center of the page. ASM simplified format. This form has been recommended by the Administrative Management Society of the USA as an important time-saving step. The following are its important features. Full block style and open punctuations are used. Salutations and complimentary clauses are omitted, but to personalize the reader's name is used at least in the first sentence. The subject line is typed in capital letters and the word subject is omitted. Signer's name and business titles are typed in capital letters. Hanging or the inverted paragraph format. This form is commonly used in sales and advertising letters. The key words are hanging in the left margin at the start of each paragraph with other lines indented. Sometimes the key words are typed in capital letters for more emphasis. Now, let us take a look at the types of the inquiry letters. To inquire means to find further information about a particular topic. In businesses, the inquiry can be for a product, material, price quotation, wholesaler or retailer inquiry or the agent inquiry, etc. So, what is an inquiry letter? A letter that asks information about persons, products or services or other matters is an inquiry letter. The questions to be included in a good inquiry letter should be placed or planned carefully. Following are the suggestions for making the inquiries or inquiry letters more effective. Make questions specific, clear and courteous. State each question in a separate paragraph and number the questions if appropriate. Use a separate sheet of paper for listing the questions if they are in large number. Carefully arrange the questions, generally with the easiest to answer sheet. Word the questions in neutral way so that the reader is not influenced. Word the questions to get more than yes or no answers if details are needed. Word the questions to get yes or no or don't know answers if numerous questions are to be tabulated. Express confidence in the reader and assure the secrecy. So, till this point, we get a clarity of what an inquiry letter is. Now, let us discuss about the different kinds of inquiry letter. The kinds of inquiry letter. Inquiry letter fall in three categories: trade inquiry, status inquiry, general inquiry. Trade inquiry. A trade inquiry or sales related inquiry is written with the intention of making business deals with the addressee. Such inquiry letters are written regarding products or services purchased or being considered for purchase. The trade inquiries ask information about the supply of goods, availability of goods, delivery time, leaflet or brochures, catalogue, quotations or price, methods of transport, insurances, samples and terms and discounts, etc. Next, the status inquiry. Status inquiry is written to know the financial position of some individual or firm, usually a prospective buyer. Inquiries about the character, qualification, experience and performance of the applicant for the job or membership may also be termed as status inquiries. General inquiries. General inquiry is made to get information about the rules and procedures used in other organizations, government, policies, market conditions, etc. General inquiry may also seek information for private or business research. For example, a firm may receive inquiries for various data from students, teachers or executives of other organizations. Now, let us take a look at the next type of letter, that is order letters. After inquiry letters, the next business communication takes place for orders. So, let us understand what are the main points of a good order letter. An order in the business vocabulary stands for the communication of quantity, quality or variety between the businesses and the suppliers. Order letter. An order letter needs to be correct, complete and definite so that the reader may fill it exactly. Incompleteness or errors may mean further correspondence, shipping delays, complicated billings, repacking and reshaping and loss of business. Therefore, a good order letter should include the following, like include the full details of quantities, price, colors, sizes, etc. Quote the catalogue number if any. State the requirements as to delivery, date, place, mode of transportation, etc. Confirm the terms of payments agreed in preliminary negotiation. Refer to the enclosure of check, pay order or draft or samples or color of material if any. Now, after placing the orders, the next is replying of orders. Ordinarily, order letter needs to reply, but replies should be written under the following circumstances. When a customer requests for acknowledgement in confirmation of the order, when an order is incorrect, incomplete or vague, when an order cannot be compiled with, or when extra time is needed to fill the order. Next comes the claim letter. Let us take a look at the contents of a claim letter. Contents of a claim letter. A dissatisfied party may either discontinue the business contact or may complain through a claim letter. The former option can never be recommended. Complaint is basically unpleasant. Therefore, it should be based on the following points. Statement of claim supported by facts and figures. Indication of loss and inconvenience. Request for explanation of the cause. Emphasis on the quick action should be mentioned. Suggestions for reasonable adjustment from the party side. Courteous and non-accusatory words. Now, taking a look at again the further enhancement, that is adjustment letter. An adjustment letter is a reply to the complaint or the claim letter. It is better to make adjustment than to risk losing a customer. Complaints should not be discouraged because they provide a means of discovering and correcting the poor services. They also provide an opportunity to win back the goodwill that is lost. Analysis of a complaint. In dealing with a complaint or claim, all related facts should be investigated to determine whether the complaint or claim is justified or not, whether and how adjustment is to be effected. Justification of complaint. Experience proves that most of the complaints are justified. They are usually a result of fault on the part of the seller or the third party like an transporter, etc. A complaint is considered unfair when buyer is at fault and the request is not granted. Grant of adjustment. A justified complaint needs proper adjustment, for example, refunding money, replacing the merchandise or performing in a better additional services, admitting fault and assuring care in future, and taking rightful action against the third party responsible for the damage. Proper explanation is necessary if buyer is at fault or complaint is based on a misunderstanding. Adjustment principles. Answer promptly to avoid further complaints. When immediate adjustment is not possible, an acknowledgement letter assures that the complaint is being conserved. Give the customer the benefit of doubt by assuming that the customer is right unless the facts prove him or her to be wrong. Accept the blame gracefully when it is justified. To beg pardon or be unnecessarily humble is considered poor acceptance that may result in the loss of goodwill. Be diplomatic, especially when the addressee is at fault or complaint is based on misunderstanding. A diplomatic writer can say anything about insulting the reader. Now, organizing the adjustment letters. The idea in an adjustment letter are ordinarily arranged as follows. Conciliatory statement, expression of regret even if the customer is at fault or appreciation for having been informed is an effective start of an adjustment letter. Explanation of facts, explaining the facts related to the complaint, clarifying the position in case of misunderstanding or indicating the customer's fault if any should be the next step. Adjustment of statement, grant of the adjustment if any, suggesting a substitute for the requested adjustment when it can be granted, or a mere acceptance of the fault with assurance of taking care in future should be stated as the third step. Statement of goodwill. The last paragraph may be added if appropriate for rebuilding a goodwill and renewal of business relations. Now, coming to the next phase of letters, that are the sales letter. Sales letter. A sales letter is a form of direct marketing that is designed to attract potential customers to your product or service. It tells new prospects who you are and how your company can benefit them. It allows you to establish credibility and create a human connection, which is vital for building a healthy customer base. Whatever the purpose of your message, the important thing to keep in mind is that your words influence how the customer feels about you and your business. That means you must write a voice that is consistent with your brand, business goals and ideal customer profile. So, what are the key components of a good sales letter? The best sales letter are succinct and easy to read. Nobody has time to read pages upon pages of your text. Your letter needs to have only the 5 basic elements. Starting with a personal touch, a customer or consumer don't want to feel like a fish in the barrel. Speak to them as if you are having a one-on-one conversation with them, not as if you are addressing a whole crowd. Even though many people will read this one letter, you should still write it in a way that speaks directly to the individual. Consider your product and you, your ideal buyer. Then craft an authentic voice that matches both. This is both where you are having a robust CRM come into handy. Using your customer relationship management system, you can do a deep dive into how your buyers behave and what they are like. This enables you to create sales letters that are hyper-personalized for each segment of your customer base. Story. A statistical and new numbers are great, but people are compelled by stories. If you can tell a human-centric story, your readers will be much more likely to latch on and continue reading. The best approach is to paint 2 pictures, one of what life looks like without your product and another of what life looks like with your product. Your customer should be able to recognize themselves in the story and then envision how much better life could be if they are making a change. Just as with spin selling, you need an in-depth understanding of your prospect pain points so you can tell stories about how your product has helped other buyers solve the similar problems. Simple language. Simplicity is crucial. Even if your product or service belongs to a high specialized industry and your customer base is very knowledgeable. The challenge of selling a complex product is talking about it in the way that people will understand. Keep your letter straightforward, clean and readable. Make sure the language you choose also matches your brand voice. Consider your online presence and try to emulate the voice that's most firmly established in the public sphere. It would look odd to a customer if your style of writing seriously clashed with the messaging in your social media or website copy. Your USP. At some point, you need to state your unique selling proposition, the USP. You must point out exactly what differentiates your product or service from the competitors. Because the truth is, your competitors are also putting out sales letters. They are telling stories and delivering personalized messaging too. But they cannot claim to have your USP. It's the one thing that sets you apart. So it's worth including in every sales letter. A call to action. A call to action is a directive for what to do next. If your letter does the trick, the reader should want to take action right away. Whether it's requesting a demo, scheduling a meeting or visiting an online shop, you need to leave your customer with a clear course of action so they are not left wondering what to do with the information you just gave them. This may sound like a lot to pack into one letter, but the stronger your sales technique are, the better you will be able to speak to your prospects' pain points succinctly and authoritatively. How to write a sales letter? The whole point of writing sales letter is for someone to read them, but many never get even opened. With so much content competing for your customers' attention, you need to figure out how to break through the noise. A clean sales letter format can help your message stand out. You should also include the following elements in them. An attention-grabbing headline. If your letter aren't opened, that means your header didn't take a look at the attention. Learn to craft headlines that inspire curiosity. So your target customer will have no other choice but to open your letter and learn more. Here are a few examples of clickable headlines. The secret to decluttering your inbox. 3 easy steps to a good night's sleep. How we got our toddler to love the vegetables. All 3 introduce tantalizing answers to a pain point the reader may not even have been consciously aware of. After all, if someone handed you an envelope labeled "Secret to a Better Life," you'd surely open it. A clean, brand appropriate design. If your letter is strangely formatted, clunky or too messy, it doesn't matter what words you are using. The reader is going to move on to the next thing without a second glance. A well-styled letter, on the other hand, will entice the customer's eye and increase the likelihood that they will read to the end. For example, use bullet points to draw the reader's attention to important information. Even a busy reader who's skimming the content will take in these key points, so you make your bulleted list count. Short, snappy copy. There's no hard and fast rule about how long the sales letter should be, but the standard is no more than 300 words. Anything longer than that, people begin to lose interest, so you'll want to get your point across in 200 to 250 words. You may also want to include links to useful resources or offer tips or free content that's relevant to your audience's interest and industry. For example, offer to share a white paper if the reader signs up for your monthly newsletter. No matter you hook, ensure your copywriting is clear and succinct. Name and personal details. Rather than addressing your reader in a generic way, personalize every message with their name, job title and other pertinent information. When customers notice their names and details in writing, it makes them feel more visible. Start your message with "to whom it may concern" or "dear reader." Sounds stuffy and impersonal. Instead, use your CRM to populate your greetings with the individual's first name. Greetings Melinda, hi there Akira, or dear Simon. These are individual names. Just make sure you are on brand. While a more informal tone tends to work better in letters, social media and conversational marketing, readers shouldn't feel a disconnect with your company's messaging on other channels. Other types of sales letter. Professional sales letter can be tweaked to accomplish various goals, which might correspond to stages of their buyer's journey or other needs. Here are a few specific kinds of sales letter that have slightly different objectives and components. Sales introduction. This letter kicks off the client-seller relationship. Is the first correspondence between a sales representative and their potential customer. So it's a bit more general in its approach. Instead of focusing on particular product features and benefits, introduction letters are broader in their subject matter. In these letters, think about dropping big picture statistics and stories. Sales introduction letters are also typically very short, featuring only 1 or 2 paragraphs about your product, your company, and how to reach you for further information. Save the details for further correspondences. This letter is all about jumping in, introducing yourself quickly, and then getting out of there. Sales recommendation letter. The goal of this letter is to communicate a sales representative's strength and quality. You are not selling a product or a service. You are selling someone else's value as a worker. You still want to add personal touches and tell a story, but keep your sales recommendation letter to the point, just like a regular sales letter. Mention the qualifications and talents and give examples of how the representative has used their sales skills to overcome difficult situations. Find some specifics about the company you are addressing so you can further personalize your approach. Even though writing recommendation letter isn't sales activity per se, it is still an opportunity to establish your brand's reputation and build connections. That means it's worth your time to be deliberate and thoughtful in how you speak about your staff to the businesses. Consulting sales letter. In this sales letter, you are the product of your own. You are trying to convince companies that you will be able to improve their sales strategies and processes. To do this, you will need to establish credibility. The more success stories you can tell, the better. While your USP is still important, clients will likely be more interested in the hard numbers. Don't hesitate to rattle off the exact figures on how you have helped other businesses improve their sales. Cultivating your voice and tone also matters a great deal in consulting sales letter. This kind of work involves a lot of communication. So establish from the get-go there you are the master communicator. Craft an approachable but authoritative tone that says, I am easy to work with, but I am going to get the job done no matter what. Sales letter examples. That you know all the components of a strong sales letter, let us see how they come together. Examples of a sales introduction letter. Introductory letters are just one of the many sales prospecting techniques. Embrace them. They are great for breaking the ice with the potential customers. In the example stated beside, a sales representative for a digital communication company writes a letter to a prospect whose colleague recently visited the website. The headline says, The Secret to Better Team Communication. Greetings, Antonio. I noticed one of your colleagues took a look at our communication solutions last week. Did you know more than half of organizations struggle with siloed team communication? It's a real challenge to connect with your colleagues on a project when you are using 5 or 6 different tools to collaborate. With everyone toggling between apps, it's easy for the information to fall through the cracks. If you like to learn more about streamlining your collaboration tools and adding hours back into your team's work week, click on my calendar here to set up a quick phone chat. The letter here features an attention-grabbing headline that addresses a proper pain point, lack of communication between teams. It's followed by a personal salutation and an understanding of where the prospect is in the sales cycle. That is, the colleague is already browsing for the solution. What's also key to the introductory lecture is the low pressure tone. The letter seeks to establish a connection by showing knowledge of and sympathy for the prospective pain points. So, now let us take a look at the uses, functions and systems of a sales letter. Uses of sales letter. Selling by mail. Mail order houses use sales letter for performing the entire selling job, that is from producing enquiries to shipping merchandise. The reply cards, blank order forms and other material may be enclosed with a sales letter to make it more effective. Producing sales inquiries. Businesses other than mail order houses confine the use of sales letter to soliciting enquiries, which may be followed by letters, telephone or personal calls. Following up sales inquiries. The sales inquiries unsought or produced by sales letters or advertisements may be handled in different ways. Sales may be used for this purpose. Printed material may also be enclosed with it. Introducing or inducing people to buy them. Sales letter may induce a customer or prospective customers to buy goods or services by arousing their interest and desires. Building up goodwill. Sales letter may also be used to thank the customers for their patronage, extend greetings and announce new services for building up goodwill. Functions of a sales letter: attracting the attention. Attracting the attention of reader to decent stationery, proper layout, neat typing, paragraphing, etc. Further, the opening sentences of the text must make the reader think by means of a slogan or extraordinary idea. Arousing desire. Arousing desire by appealing to reason for necessities and appealing to emotion luxuries. The desire to buy the goods or services may be created in the mind of the reader. Implanting conviction. Implanting conviction about the good quality of goods or services so that the reader does not hesitate in making the decision desired of buying. This can be achieved by means of logical reasoning, moderate claims and evidence to support the claims. Stimulating action. Stimulating action by not allowing the prospective customer to put off the auction. This can be done by offering inducements for quick action like discounts, gifts, bonuses, reply cards, etc. Solicited letters and unsolicited sales letter. Solicited sales letter. Solicited sales letter is reply to the sales related inquiry or trade inquiry. Such letters deal with questions about catalog, price, terms, discounts, deliveries, manufacturing method, type of accounts, available sources of supply and similar information. Solicited sales letter are also called invited sales messages. The inquirer is often already customer or a potential buyer who may become a steady, satisfied customer if the reply is sent with a favorable impression. Following are the principles of writing an impressive solicited sales letter. Answer promptly, because a prompt answer is more effective and it also gives an impression of attentiveness in other matters. Respond completely, because omission of certain facts limit the value of the answer and handicap the reader in decision making. Give additional information related to the inquiry, because some inquiries may not be clear and complete. Reply courteously, because it creates favorable impression even if just a little information is given. Follow up the reply when the desired response does not result with a reasonable time. Give some more information or ask if any further information can be given. Unsolicited letter. Unsolicited sales letter are not direct answers to the inquiry, but they are initiated by the seller for various reasons. These letters are also known as prospective or cold turkey letters. According to Murphy and Peck, the success in unsolicited sales letter will depend upon three factors: the mailing list, the right appeals and the presentation. The first two of these factors are pre-writing steps and the last one relates to the writing of the sales letter. Pre-writing steps. The pre-writing steps are the 6 planning steps about the purpose, reader, ideas to include, fact gathering, organization and revision. While planning an unsolicited letter, these steps have to be taken into sequence. Gathering the facts about the product, next knowing the reader and obtaining the mailing list, deciding the purpose, choosing the ideas and the main appeal, planning the presentation and making revisions. Writing an unsolicited letter. The basic structure for an unsolicited sales letter usually has 4 parts, commonly known as the IDA formula for sales presentation. IDA. A, that is attracting the reader's favorable attention. I, that is arousing the reader's interest. D, creating the desire and convincing the reader. And A, making a clear action the reader needs to take. These parts, also known as the functions of a sales letter, need not always be in the same sequence as they are listed, as in every other part of letter. While considering the sales letter, a sales letter aims at selling some goods or service. It has a more formal style and is generally issued in a series. A sales letter has convincing tone and attitude and motivates the reader to buy. On the other hand, a sales promotion letter aims to create a good relationship. It has a more informal style and is issued for an important circumstance or event. A sales promotion letter has suggestive tone and attitude, and it expresses a desire to serve the reader. Now, let us take a look at the sales promotion letter. These letters are issued to supplement the direct sales efforts with a view to develop a favorable foundation and environment for achieving higher sales. In fact, these letters are concerned with building up the goodwill and reputation of the enterprise. The letters aim at creating a favorable image of the enterprise in the mind of the reader. So, what are the characteristics of a sales promotion letter? Timeline. Sales promotion letters are issued on special occasion like Diwali, Eid, holiday, introduction of a new product, etc. Goodwill. A sales promotion letter is indirect invitation or sales invitation. It does not induce the reader to buy but aims at creating an environment helpful for increasing sales in future. Informal style. A sales promotion letter is usually written in informal manner or a friendly and a personal style because it aims at establishing and maintaining goodwill and good relations. It may, however, suggest the sales of a service or product. Uses or objects of a sales promotion letter. The use of a sales promotion letter may be grouped into basic 4 categories. Maintaining the contacts. In a competitive world, it is always possible that some regular customer may withdraw their patronage. It is therefore necessary to issue sales promotion letters from time to time, carrying out announcements of various services and greetings with a view to maintain contacts with the existing customers. Awakening inactive accounts. In spite of the best efforts for maintaining contacts, some of the customer may stop buying further for certain reasons. In such circumstances, sales promotion letters are issued inviting complaints, if any, and offering adjustments if possible. Welcoming the new customers. In addition to handling the existing customers, the new ones should also be entertained. A new customer should be thanked and informed about the services available to regular customers through a sales promotion letter. Inviting business from new sources. An expanding business cannot depend on the existing customers only. It must try to find, attract and invite new customers by offering various services and greetings through sales promotion letters. So, in today's session, we took a fight or understanding of various destinations of letter formats. We started with the structure of a letter. Next, we discussed about the inquiry letters, order letters and claim letters. Lastly, we divided or dived into the formats of sales letter and sales promotion letter. I hope you are thorough with the topic of letters in business communication. Thank you.